VR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR to sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boosts every single day. Before we get into the show, let's just get this out of the way. Megan, what facts do you want to know about me next?
I already have mine for
You
tomorrow.
already have one? You already have one? That can't be a good sign.
But I probably will ask you some questions to have more real facts. Because the one tomorrow may or may not be real.
Come on. Stop with the real facts.
yeah,
Let's do fake facts.
The real facts about Rudo are pretty boring, I think, probably.
The first one was awesome, so.
Well, that was a real fact.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
Well, it is true. We had that conversation last game.
Yeah.
that felt too easy. Yeah.
Aliens are definitely real.
I think we're all in agreement that they're real. I think people thought it was controversial. Like, does Megan think they are not real?
Do they wear jorts?
Do they wear shorts?
Yeah, Yahir's take is the crazy one here. Anyway, Avs are taking on the Philadelphia Flyers tonight. Unfortunately, Erod not quite good to go yet, so it's going to be more or less a similar lineup to last time. Expectations are still, a little bit weird right now with how that defense is going to look exactly with McDonald, but you're not seeing any significant additions to the lineup. We'll put it that way. Philly last time did end up beating the Avs. Of course, that was the game that Nathan MacKinnon got injured in. We'll ask the question I've been asking a lot lately. On paper, who's the better team tonight?
The Colorado Avalanche.
It feels a lot easier to answer that question compared to some other
Yeah,
games.
compared to a week
It
ago.
does feel more easily the Colorado Avalanche, but I won't get carried away.
Well, I think there has a lot to do with the emotions as well. Like, you lose your best player. There's an argument there. Your best player, and I mean that just puts everybody in a bad mood.
Yeah.
And right in the middle of the game, you've had all those injuries leading up to it. That was the one that just kind of tipped the boat over. So I think they're in a different headspace as well. More of that winning attitude again, and especially after last game, having just that, you got one win under your belt again.
In the right column, at very least, yeah. And we've talked enough about how much Lucky and Nichush can help them in that regard, too, so we don't really need to rehash that on the whole. How important is it for the Avs to go on a little bit of a winning streak against some of these softer teams right now? Do they need these points to bank, or can they survive with a little bit of up and down hockey right now?
I think they need these points, given the level of competition ahead of them and some of these injuries being still a bit out. They're wanting to make December as strong as possible because full reinforcements aren't completely on the way until sometime January, February. So you want to bank as many of these points against, I don't want to say easier competition, but it's just going to be more challenging.
In that regard, Erod is the only guy who's really close. It sounded like Darren Helm isn't quite progressing the way they had hoped so far. Obviously, everyone else still isn't even really skating. So, yeah, you're looking at end of December now, really, for when the Avs are really going to start getting healthy. For tonight, Avs going with Pavel Francouz again. I'm always reserved with saying this because there's not a goalie controversy here. Georgiev for now is certainly still the starter, but expectations here, is this just a little quick reset for Georgiev, or do we think we're going to continue to see more Frankie?
I think it's going to continue to be split up, kind of similar to this, just because Bednar has said as much. He wanted Georgiev to get 3 games. He wanted Georgie in that New York Rangers game, and then he's sort of now throwing it back to Francouz. Now, I'm imagining we'll see Frankie get somewhere close to 3 starts. So it just feels like it's being split back and forth. And I think when Georgiev returns, if he has some strong starts, I think that you'll see him get a few more than just 3 in a row, something like that. But I don't think it's a reflection of Georgiev.
I thought Bednar rode Georgiev pretty hard for a little while there. Like, he just kept on going back to him over and over and over again. And I think really now, like you were saying, Megan, you're going to start to see a better spread, right? You've got 2 quality goaltenders. You've got one that's clearly a little bit better than the other one right now. But Frankie has shown that he can play. And in that last game, he showed some great saves, great composure, and I think it's smart to go back to him right now.
What are expectations for Frankie here? Obviously played a very good game the other night against the Blues. His total statistics for the season don't look super great, but that could be a little bit misleading. Do we think things are starting to trend in the right direction for Frankie right now, or are you keeping expectations low?
I feel like it feels mean to say keeping expectations low, but this is what I've come to expect of Francouz, is to have good performances, and you hope that he builds off of them, but I'm not putting that much pressure on him to do more than that. I think I have every confidence that he'll play well tonight, but if we're looking at something bigger than that, right, starting the next several games and being the guy in net for the month of December, that becomes a different conversation.
Just for specifics, Frankie 3-5 on the year, a 2.9 goals against, and a 911 save percentage. So not terrible, but certainly nothing spectacular either. That compared to a career numbers of 2.5 goals against and a 919. So over the course of his career, he has been better than he's played so far this year. There also is, the fact that hampered abs in front of him do exist this year. So certainly a little bit something to do with that. By the way, if you have a ticket to the game on December 17th, that happens to be my birthday, and it also happens to be the party bus day. So if you want to join us, you can get a ticket on the party bus for just $25 if you already have a ticket to the game. That comes with a trip to and from the rink, so you can save on parking down there, which that alone almost entirely covers the bus. But the party bus also comes with free beer. So you get a great deal on that. You get to come party with us both before and after the game. It's a great time. Join us. I hope I don't get too hammered from all the people hanging out on my birthday, but we'll see how it goes. Join us on the party bus. You can find it at thednvrlocker.com right now to pick up a ticket. It's going to be a blast. I'm looking forward to it. Should be a fun birthday, to say the least. Avs coming into tonight. It has been almost 3 full hockey games since the last goal not scored by Mikko Rantanen. One, who's got to do it? Who's going to be the guy to break through that's just not a moose man? And two, how important is it for the Avs to start getting some of that going, or can they rely on just leaning this heavily on Mikko?
I mean, I think you want to see Mikko playing well, engaged, right, into the game. What you would like to see is other people scoring and contributing in the goal column, not just the assist column.
Yeah.
I think Val is at that point. Like I thought last game he was going to have it. It still looked like he was a little bit rusty. You're 3 games in. You're a top 6 forward. You got to start producing a little bit, especially when the team is injured like this. I think it's time for him to step up. Lecky's never been the real leading goal scorer, but again, just seeing positive, steps in the right direction from them, just producing, getting more shots on net, and just being a little bit more dangerous. That last game, it was just there was not a lot going on in that game. You just want to see a little bit more from the Avs forwards there.
Do you know if Carter Hart's starting?
I do not. I'm sure I can find out, though.
Bolding from Morning Skate actually thought it would not be Carter Hart. That kind of changes the conversation a little bit, too, in terms of my expectation. Just because of what happened in the last Flyers game. And if I'm anyone on the Avs coming into this, I'd be pretty frustrated with the outcome and how that game unfolded, but especially if I'm Alex Newhook. The heroics that I individually put forth were not rewarded. The outcome was really disappointing. So it's not to say it has to be Alex Newhook tonight, but that's definitely someone that I'd be looking to have a strong game tonight offensively. And then, like Blais is saying, really anybody needing to step up is important, because who isn't Mikko Rantanen? And honestly, even Cale Makar, I'd like to see Cale Makar also be a guy tonight, but you'd like to see it be someone a little bit different. And I think it's time to see that too, especially just we look at the problems that have brought the Avs here, and we understand how the Avs got here. It was because of injuries, but you'd like to see them come up with a couple different solutions to their problems outside of Mikko Rantanen.
No fun answers.
No fun.
Kale and Nichushkin? That's boring.
All right, what's yours?
Kind of.
What's yours?
My real answer? I'm just lucky. But if I'm having a fun answer, Jean-Luc Foudy.
Yeah.
I had a dream that he scored a goal, but I don't believe my dreams, so.
If your dream
You don't
happens,
believe your
though.
dreams? That's like super sad.
Well, this dream also involved a flying shark and, and some other things.
Okay.
So it's a little out there.
I do like the
to say the
foodie,
least.
the foodie idea, just because like love the way that kid skates. Think he's due for something to kind of break for him at the NHL level. Thought he's been playing well while he's been up here.
I think he's due for at least a point. Like, I don't think that's a pipe dream. I think that's a real dream.
I hope so, but not confident in it to say the least. It's tough, right? Because you do understand, like, it's not like there's no production from some of these guys. We talked about it the other night. They're picking up assists. You still need people to score goals. As much credit as I want to give Mikko for stepping up and being that guy right now, he can't do it by himself. It's just not feasible for that to happen night in and night out with any regularity. So, we'll see. Again, I think the expectation, as I took a sneak peek at Blais's bets, is a little bit of a low-scoring game. The Avs have kind of found a rhythm with this lineup on how to play a little bit more shutdown hockey, a little bit slower paced. So I do expect to see that side of things, but you can't just score one, right? You got to put a couple up to have a chance. All right.
Love to see Hudon.
That'd be fun too. Yeah.
Another fun one.
Yeah.
It looks
Especially with all the
like-
chances that he's been getting. You want him to finish.
I
out.
believe in him.
That's right.
Makes one of us.
I was talking to somebody else, and they were talking about Galchenyuk and how he didn't produce. He was a 30-goal scorer. He needed to produce. That's why he's in the AHL. And I'm thinking to myself, in that 4-game stretch, nobody else was really scoring too. So it's not a fair tool of measurement, but you'd like to see somebody score. It looks like they're keeping the Hudon Myers foodie line intact for tonight. I kind of hope they'd put Newhook there and Myers on the fourth line, mainly because I liked what I saw from Newhook and Foodie together, but there were some chances that Myers was looking to capitalize on from Foodie setting it up. So not writing it off. And it also, if I'm reading this right, it looks like Sandstrom is going to be their starter. So.
Yeah,
It is.
that's what I saw from Flyers media too.
Am I going to sit on that couch and suddenly be like a Hudon
Charles
super
Hudon.
fan?
Yeah, there's
Is that
something
what's gonna
in the
happen?
air over here.
He's just been so fun to watch. Like you just
Absolutely.
want him to finish. So
No.
it's like,
100%.
No complaints about his game. Puck's just got to go in the net,
Yep.
All right, Blais, make us some money.
all right. Well, first one, Frankie with over 26.5 saves. I think that's kind of a key to winning this game as well, is that he's going to have to stop those pucks that he sees. Makar with over 2.5 shots on goal at -155. I would also take Makar for a goal. I feel that he's due, and this is a team that I think he can stunt on, just because he plays so arrogantly. So I feel like that's somewhere that he'll be. And then total, I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair, so under 6 goals.
I definitely agree with the low-scoring affair, which leads to the Frankie thing. Hopeful for the car thing, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It just kind of depends. It's a tough life out there. The Flyers are a bad team. Hard to get good money on the Avs at home against Philadelphia. So you got to take what you can take when it comes to those types of games.
And David, yes, take Mikko too if you want. He's good. He's going to score a goal.
Wow, that one's a given. And that one's probably like -150 or something. I don't have a ton else to say. We can keep reiterating the things we've been saying over the last handful of games. They got to win the special teams battle. You'd like to see them play solid at 5-on-5. All the things that have been true are still true. It's just your expectations are a little bit higher now with guys back in the lineup, with them shaking a little bit of that rust off. And you continue to look at that Flyers lineup and go, that's really not very good, is it? So hopefully they can... The one thing I guess I should say I will like to see, hold on to a lead effectively here. Yeah. Get a lead, keep a lead. Make your life a little bit easier. Don't grind Cale Makar into the dust having to play him 1,000,000 minutes tonight. But that's really all I got. You guys got any final thoughts for me?
Just looking at what went so wrong for them last time, aren't all mistakes avoidable? I guess it's a pretty easy thing to say, but looking at the types of mistakes that were made, poor management in their own end, and just being too easy to play against on the rush. They need to defend better and make better decisions with the puck, even if it means playing a more simple game in their own end, because it just created their own problems. And so I'd like to see them lock that down a little bit too.
Don't beat yourselves.
Don't beat yourselves, yeah.
Yep.
All
I
right.
think the other thing is you want to see back-to-back wins here, kind of start out getting that streak going. Like you said, this is kind of a soft week. Be nice to get this win in, and then hopefully get Rodriguez back by Thursday, and then kind of roll through the weekend with some wins.
Would be nice to get some good feelings going for sure. So we're going to wrap up the pregame show here. We appreciate all of y'all. Have a watch along coming your way in 5 to 10 minutes. And of course, even if you're not joining for that, please join for the postgame where we will break it all down. Hopefully what is an interesting one and not a slumber party. We'll see how it goes. We hope to see you there. Until then, we will talk to you in a little bit.